Hello, Vikings. As I've said before, I don't typically do Valheim news videos because I cover most news on Podheim, which is our weekly Valheim podcast. But this latest dev blog covered one of my favorite topics, which is food. So that's what I'll cover in this video. We'll have a look at what's revealed in the latest Steam post with a focus on food, and I'll give you my take on it. So let's dive right in. So the first thing we'll see in this Steam update blog is this image up here. And if I actually open and zoom in just to see the full image, you can see that at the bottom we can notice the new black marble floor, which is one of the new build pieces that has been confirmed coming in the new Mistlands update. There's a campfire with a cauldron, a spice rack, butcher's table, I can't remember, a cooking station or whatever that is called with all the pans and things. And then we've got a table. Is that a table or a bench? I think that's a table with a few items on them. So a few that we can recognize, like this bread loaf and the jam, and these three funky new items. So we can see here there's a bowl with some yellow greeny substance. There's another bowl with stuff poking out of it. We'll do a zoom later to figure out what that is. And then this mysterious item, which is like a board with stuff on it. It's really difficult to make out what it is. But this is not the only image that you see before you click on the post. There is actually another image, which is the preview image when you post a link in social media. So let's have a look at that. That is that image, and you see what looks like a very similar setup. If it's not the same room, it might be the same room with things a bit rearranged. You can see the black marble floor, campfire, cauldron, butcher's table, spice rack, and Viking in a Fenris armor that is cooking. And over here on the bench or the table, you can see the familiar ice cream, as well as that same bowl that we saw earlier with the green yellow substance, and this other item that we can see another picture of later in the post. Comparing those two images, the thing that I note is that it's a campfire, a simple campfire and a cauldron. There are a few cooking station upgrade items like the spice rack and the butcher's table that you can see in both images. In this image, we don't see the pots and pans and everything, but that kind of suggests that those new food items will only require the cauldron and potentially a level 3 and above. Now, as to what this thing is, I have no idea. My first thought when I saw this was like, oh, it looks like a cutting board and this looks like a rag maybe, but it's kind of pink. It could be some sort of meat. And then those things are really hard to make out. It's very white. I think it's a glare from the light. It could be bones from, again, meat. It could be pieces of vegetable or some other ingredient. But this looks like it's one item, one object altogether. So it reminds me a bit of the blood pudding, which comes on that little board with the blood pudding on it and a decorative leaf. That could be one of those items that is one unit with the board and everything. Or another option is this could be another cooking upgrade. Maybe it is more of a rag. Maybe these are tools that are used to cook, and this is a cutting board, and this might be some sort of a further upgrade to the cooking station. So who knows? But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, so let's actually read through what the blog post says. It's titled Hungry for a Snack, with that image that we just looked at. And it says, hello again, Vikings. We hope you've all had a wonderful summer thus far, even with the heat waves rolling in all over the world. Yes, it is currently very, very hot in Europe, with unfortunately lots of wildfires and so on. The Iron Gate team has taken some time off to get some new energy, as is customary here in Sweden. But now we're back at our desks and are already hard at work to bring you the next Valheim update. We are aware that there has been an unfortunate issue with crashing over the past month. A fix for this is underway and is currently being tested, and we hope to have the solution done soon. In the meantime, if you should have your game crash and your save reset as a result, you can follow this guide in order to restore your progress. We are also working on the Mistlands. It's going to be quite a chunky update with lots of things we haven't shown yet. Naturally, it will have new resources, which also means new recipes. The other week, for example, one of our 3D artists did a lot of work on the food for the biome. The balancing still needs some work, but the menu is mostly set. Any guesses as to what the various meals could be? And then we see this wonderful picture that we will examine. So let's take a closer look at those new food items, shall we? If we zoom in, we can see that same bowl that we had displayed before. We can see that a better picture of that plate with what looks like jello on top of it. There's also the bowl with the various items in it. That kind of looks like a salad potentially. And then these two plates with these yellow semicircles with purple stuff sprinkled on top. In previous updates, we heard about new fungi that they introduced, and we saw these two images, which are concept arts. We haven't seen anything like that since. I don't recognize those new mushrooms in any of the newer pictures, but they seem to be one of the new items. And we have said in that update that we will be able to cook with a couple of those Mistlands mushroom variants. Another thing that they mentioned in the previous update, the summer one, was that they will upgrade the fish and they will come up with new types coming in different sizes. So we are definitely going to get more recipes that are fish based. And so with those two bits of information combined, I think we can hazard some guesses at what those new recipes are, because surely if we get new ingredients, that means that they're going to be used in some way in those new recipes. So with all of that in mind, here's my thoughts on the whole new food in the Mistlands thing. First thing I notice is all these colors and everything here looks pretty exotic. It's got orange, purple, yellow, green colors. It all looks very plant-based. I don't see any traces of meat or anything like that. Doesn't look too heavy. It looks like summer food to me. It looks pretty refreshing, and it's in tune with the environment that this Viking is in. If you ignore the dark mist and the black marble, this environment has a lot of very colorful plants, lots of green and so on, and it kind of looks like a Viking that's just chilling in the Amazon to me. And if we look at all the new black marble buildings that they've showcased in the latest teasers, updates, and so on, I don't know about you, but it's giving me very tropical vibes. It's giving me kind of South America ancient civilization vibes. And so hear me out on this. What if this is guacamole? These could be either pineapples with those purple things, could be bits of that purple mushroom that we see here, or some people have said maybe it's an omelette of sorts, or my guess is it's some sort of quesadilla. This is obviously jello or jelly with bits of vegetables in it. It looks like it could be turnip and carrots in it. So maybe it's another kind of component from the Mistlands that gives you this gelatine on it. And this kind of looks like a salad to me. These look like, the circles look like onion rings. Everything else in there, there's some orange and yellows. There's bits of greenery that reminds me of the dandelions and the carrots. This to me feels like it could be either a salad or a soup, but most likely some sort of salad. So again, all of this is pretty tropical. This green thing, a lot of people are saying guacamole. I don't know, could be some sort of other soup, but it doesn't look like soup because it's not flat. So yeah, it kind of looks like guacamole. I think that's probably the closest guess. But that gave me some thoughts because obviously those mushrooms are going to be part of those recipes. This mushroom is kind of orange, yellow, and we see a lot of those colors in here. So it could be a component for this guacamole, maybe for that jello thing, or what looks like a salad, and whatever these are. Let's call them quesadillas for now. And the purple here, I believe there is no other ingredient that is this color, and that is purple. So I'm going to guess that it's coming from this mushroom, and that is one of the ingredients for it. But the fish, they did say we will get new fish. So Maybe this has fish in it. Maybe we need some sort of fish component for this jello thing. But what I was thinking is this image with this weird thing and this piece of pink rag. What if, and hear me out, what if this is ceviche? In keeping with my South American theme. What if this is raw fish that's kind of folded over? This to me looks more plausible than it being some sort of meat that's cut really thinly. And if it was a rag, why is it pink and kind of meat color? So I'm gonna say maybe this is some tuna ceviche or something like that, which means these could be other seafood items. Who knows? So that's my guess. But if we go back to the Steam post and carry on reading, the rest of it is not food related. They talk about earlier in the summer, they showed us a little teaser of the things we can build with the new black marble material that we'll be able to find around the Mistlands. A lot of us were pretty excited about that, so they thought they'd show us a bit more. They're really looking forward to seeing our creations once we get our hands on these new build pieces. And again, look at this. Doesn't it look a bit like South American? Ancient civilization, Inca, Maya, this very steep marble roof, or looks like a temple, doesn't it? And the other thing that I'm noticing is this spinning wheel inside here, which to me makes me think that those black marble pieces will probably need the artisan table to be built, which would make sense because that is kind of the normal progression of building and building materials. And nothing else to note other than these weird shapes in the background, but those I think are just rocks. I'm not noticing anything particularly striking other than the new build pieces that I'm not going to cover in detail. And then we scroll down to the build of the month. Congratulations to the Friendly Gamer who posted this incredible build that is kind of a seaport, I guess, not seaport, a harbor house, whatever it's called. I really like those intricate stairs and stair covers. It all looks very, very cool. Good use of all the build pieces. So yeah, congratulations, a Friendly Gamer. And that's it. That's pretty much the new updates. But going back to the food, I told you my crazy ideas. I am really curious to know what you think. If you agree that all of this feels very tropical, or if you're convinced that they're trying to serve as Viking pizza. That's a lot of people have been saying. And also, do I pronounce pizza? Do I pronounce it weird? I've been told that I pronounce it weird. So anyway, I would really love to hear your thoughts. So drop a comment and share your wild conspiracies with me. I would love to hear them. And the reason I'm so excited about these new foods is that I love decorating kitchens and feast tables. I even planned a series of videos about that, showcasing all the different foods available in the game that you can decorate with, as well as tips and tricks to set the best looking feast table. So subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell to be the first to know when those videos finally come out. I also stream Valheim on a fairly regular basis, both my no-map playthrough on Jirok the Vikings Season 2 servers, and other special events and build competitions that we run on his servers. And if you like this video, please give it a funky thumbs up. And I want to give a shout out to my subscribers and those who regularly comment and join my streams. I see you and I appreciate you. You are wonderful people. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I've been Gwen the Shieldmaiden. Until next time, bye-bye.